This is just cruel and unusual punishment that we have to go through.
Elon Musk! No Elon scab within our walls will fight from dawn to dusk.
Yep, as some of them are probably going to be fighting jail time, as right now we have the crazy news coming in right now that searches allegedly for criminal defense attorneys in Washington, D.C. have now officially surged. You can't make this up, as Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States, just announced new charges against some major big Democratic Party players, as Donald Trump has now promised a bombshell press conference for tomorrow that absolutely is going to be bombastic. Will it lead to mass arrests? Well, that's actually something that could be on the table here, as of course, when you have the Attorney General involved here, which she is going to be with this press conference with Elon Musk, specifically talking about the larger recipients of waste, fraud, and abuse. It's already legalese language with legal experts there that are there to specifically press charges, setting down the kind of groundwork for something monumental, something big, as Donald Trump just a couple minutes ago in the White House announced this to a lot of people that are expecting some major fireworks tomorrow.
Considering exemption, talk about widespread fraud and abuse.
Oh, yeah, tremendous fraud. There's tremendous fraud, and it's hard to believe that you can have that kind of fraud. You're talking about, like, are you talking about what? Wait. Which are you talking? You're talking about with regard to all of the investigations that are going on about this stupidity. What we're going to do is tomorrow I'm having a news conference. I'm going to read to you some of the names that hundreds of millions and even billions of dollars have been given to. And if you tell me that we should be giving money to those things, those entities, I think you'll probably have to leave as a reporter because you're not very talented.
Yep, as many reporters aren't talented at all. A lot of them are just repeaters, regurgitators of their larger talking points that they're literally given and told to regurgitate on screen. Many corporate media journalists, when they were interviewing Joe Biden, said, here's the questions that you're going to ask, and you're not going to deviate from them. And most of them slurped up that slop propaganda that they later tried to call journalism. It wasn't any journalism, as a lot of people are being supported through these slush funds that work in the corporate media. Not just Reuters, Politico, the New York Times. There's many other larger institutions, NGOs, non-government organizations, secretive organizations, and black budgets that are now finally being uncovered, as a lot of the big guys, the Soroses, the Gates, we're finding out in many instances, they weren't even putting in their own money in order to propagandize people. They were using taxpayer money as billionaires to enrich themselves, but also propagate their ideas, sell their businesses, and censor anyone standing in their way of saying, hey, this might not actually be a good product or a good service, or there might be a checkered past here, specifically with something that you're trying to force on everyone else. And Donald Trump now coming out and individually, because the disclosure so far, bombastic, huge, incredible, big disclosures with so many bad people, billionaires, underhanded people, swamp monsters, creatures of the bureaucracy that have taken all for themselves, that have enriched themselves to huge amounts of money that you can't even fathom, that you can't even imagine. And those individuals are going to be called out in real time with the Attorney General there, with the Elon Musk saying, hey, guys, this is what I found in just less than 3 weeks. This is week 3 of the Trump administration that is promising to be the biggest one. Now, I know people are going to be like, mass protests, mass arrests. Well, there's already some kind of protest. It's insignificant, mainly because a lot of the funding towards a lot of these kind of resistance groups is being cut. A lot of the funding for these progressive groups, the leftist groups, are being cut. Therefore, there's there's no more manufactured outrage, and the people who are outraged, they're either blatantly lying or just grossly misinformed about what they're actually arguing against. I mean, imagine going out there in Washington, D.C. right now, standing outside of the White House, and there are some of these people out there, like you saw in the beginning of this clip, saying, no, my money should be going to anonymous slush funds that I don't want to know anything about. Are you kidding me? Are you delusional, or are you just an idiot? What are you? Because it's either one of those two. And I'm sorry, but Bernie Sanders telling you children are not going to be fed. Lies, propaganda, disinformation based off no actual factual evidence at all. As tomorrow, the argument is going to be made to the American people during this press conference that you could expect some major revelations that are going to be big, that are going to be fast, and there are definitely going to be some consequences. Now, what do we recommend? I have my own particular recommendations of what I hope I see, but other people are saying, hey, just like Pam Bondi announced a couple minutes ago, charges are going to be filed here. Will they? That's going to be a big one, as, of course, Trump hinted more about what we're going to be seeing tomorrow here.
When you look at the kind of money, billions and billions of dollars being thrown away illegally, and there's no chance, I mean, I say it in front of our Attorney General, there's no chance that there's not kickbacks or something going on. When you give millions and millions of dollars to somebody that stands to look at something for 15 minutes and walks away with millions of dollars, that money's coming back in some form.
Yep. Now, should those people be criminally charged? If they're stealing from the American taxpayer and knowingly doing so, yeah. At minimum, stop it. At minimum, give them a slap on the wrist. At minimum here, I think that the larger kind of proper decision could be going to all the government bureaucrat agents and saying, hey, if you're a part of some fraud, if you are a part of some scheme that takes American taxpayers and then literally wastes it away, we'll give you a little grace period. We'll give you a couple days, maybe a couple hours, to be very generous, maybe a week. Come forward right now and tell us what you're doing. And there could be grace offered here, because otherwise we're talking about larger criminal charges that could be happening here that could very potentially propel us towards some more civil unrest. I don't think civil unrest will happen because of, again, the funding. The funding for all these top organizations is just being blatantly cut. And right now, the American people are now finally offered a fair choice, a fair decision to say, yeah, I want to know where my money's going to, but more importantly, I want to keep my money. And when you keep your money, you're able to, of course, incentivize American businesses like wearechange.shop, which is our own vitamin shop where you could get some really cool, awesome stuff. Take Calm is one of my favorites. I love this stuff. I take this stuff a lot. Not every day. I used to take it every single day when I was dealing with anxiety, and that helped me out a lot with it. No longer dealing with that because I started to take care of my health and started to research the larger kind of soft kill weapons out there that are meant to promote a larger eugenics operation that many people don't know is currently active and being used against you. And once you start getting active and informed and finding out what's going on, you start supplementing. Everyone, Joe Rogan supplements, lots of people supplement. I supplement. I started to supplement, and my body, my health, my mental clarity feels absolutely top notch. And I attribute that to common sense creatine. Ashwagandha is really great for testosterone. Fish oil, really great for your heart, really great for your brain. Magnesium glycinate, really good for your central nervous system and to get you the right amounts of sleep. We, of course, have the ultimate bundle available to you. And now we're working on a special heart and brain bundle that's going to be available for you guys as well as this stuff right here. Really next level stuff that I can't recommend enough. I give it to my loved ones. I give it to my friends. I give it to my family. I give it to my mom. And I can't recommend it enough because this is stuff that we personally produce here. We personally ship out from my home. And we, of course, are incentivized because it's our company. And by supporting it, you support independent media at the same time, which we can't thank you guys enough for doing so. Now, what will Trump do during this press conference with Pam Bondi there? I think just the levels of disclosures are going to be big because they're already big. I mean, what else can we fathom? What else are we going to be hearing here as the language here? Fraud, abuse here. You know, those terms could be implemented in some charges here, as Politico right now is even running bets right now and asking people and having people bet on the larger possibilities of prosecutions here that could happen as a result of George investigations, as the probability of that has just gone up 4% to 49%. You know, still not the majority here, but let's be fair here. Come on now. If you're part of some gross, negligent criminal enterprise that is robbing the American taxpayer, that is lying to them, there should be some culpability. There should be some responsibility. There should be, minimum, take it away, slap on the wrist, kind of say, don't do this again or else you're going to go to jail. A lot of other people have a different take on it. A lot of people have the take of jail now, immediately. Now, that could quickly go out of control as there's a lot of theft in Washington, D.C. Taxation is theft. It's absolutely criminal. And I'm still waiting for Donald Trump to lower the taxes. I can't wait till he does that. He keeps promising that. But let's finish off the rest of his statement here.
And that's only one form of corruption. The biggest thing is what they do to our country. They're taking massive amounts of money and spending it on items. I went through a list of 200 expenditures that were made, and I found 3 that looked like they were reasonable. Okay, 3. And we'll be talking about that tomorrow. We have a lot of stuff. And I want to commend Elon because he's done a fantastic. He doesn't need this. You know, he's abused by you people every day. He's found more things than anybody could find. I think he's got the credibility to do it. I know he does. And it's his group of people. You know, they started off with 12. I call them 12 geniuses. They started off with 12, and they went to 20 and 25, and now they're up to almost 100. People are joining to help them because there's a massive fraud that's taken place.
Absolutely. Incredible work that they're doing, exposing a lot of this. And this is why we are hearing, allegedly from Polymarket, the searches for criminal defense attorneys are surging in D.C. Of course. D.C., by the way, you know, the place per capita with more sociopaths than any other place on the earth. You shouldn't be surprised there, as a lot of guilty parties, a lot of people that have enriched themselves unfairly through your tax dollars, through corruption, are now finally being cut off here. As Pam Bondi also is on a tear recently as she sued Chicago over their sanctuary city laws and, of course, not participating with the larger immigration raids that they were trying to conduct. As Pam Bondi also, just a couple minutes ago, according to some people, went scorched earth and has decided to file charges against the state of New York, the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, Letitia James, and Mark Schroeder, as they are saying, as you know, we sued Illinois and New York didn't listen. You're next. As this major announcement was just revealed to the American public, highlighting that the Attorney General isn't playing around. And, of course, the legalese, the lawfare, has just officially begun. And it is going to be a very interesting time to be alive here, as this is the most important role. I still wish Matt Gaetz was in this position. Pam Bondi, so far, again, her track record on the First and Second Amendment, not the best here. But so far, I think she's doing okay. We're still going to wait to see what happens tomorrow. I think the handling of this situation definitely needs to be delicate. It definitely needs to be done in a very kind of intelligent way. It can't just be done in a way where it's like, oh, well, we're just everyone in jail. No, the American people are going to want answers. They're going to want examples. They're going to want information. They're going to want to have the argument laid out in front of them. Tomorrow, that argument is laid out. What's the next step? I think that's going to be major here. I think that's going to be big here. We might even go live. I think we might go live on our YouTube channel just to cover this live announcement, because I truly do believe this is going to be a lot bigger than a lot of people expect it to be. So subscribe, click the notification button. I don't know exactly what time that was supposed to be. Pam Bondi's press conference was supposed to be at 4:30. It was at 5. She was a little bit delayed. So I think it'll be cool to go back into doing more live streams. Click the notification button. Be a part of the conversation. Get your supplements on wearechange.shop. I appreciate you guys very much. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.